Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It is May 18th, 2026, looking at the Grand Mogul from Redfish Lodge on Friday. Looks like there's still snow that connects through the Chalkstone. Let me know if you guys have skied that this year. Looking at the satellite reel this morning, you could see that area of low pressure to the southeast of us spooling in some moisture with wraparound moisture coming in from the northwest flow. That's going to be still giving us some increased winds this morning before it dies out. That wind last night actually kept the valley floor lows from getting too cold. This is like current gusts that you can see. So in the valley floor is actually pretty surprising how gusty it was this morning, and that helped mix up the cold air that usually settles into the valley floor and mix it back up and bring some warm air down. So that kind of helped out with the frost out there. This is looking at some of those gusts. You can see early this morning getting some gust up to 35 in the valley floor, which I feel like is pretty good for the valley. We don't usually see, not too often, gusts that much. And that's going to continue through the morning hours as we look at the HRRR here. Zoom in a little bit on the central mountains there. So it's going to be most pronounced in the soldiers over into the pioneers with that elevation gain. And we'll play this out. This is going to slowly get less windy as we get closer to noon, and then by 3 o'clock, those gusts have pretty much diminished to normal levels. Looking at how much moisture we're going to get this morning, really not too much. We got a little bit of rain overnight, a couple hundredths of an inch in some spots across the mountains. It's actually snowed yesterday in a couple of flurries in Haley, nothing significant. But we'll have some increased isolated showers coming across from the northwest down to the south throughout the day in the afternoon, but really just looks like Virga, nothing really amounting to much. And then it's about the same story for tomorrow afternoon. That those storm chances are a little bit more to the east of the Pioneers. So not too much precip in the forecast. Looking at temperatures, it is going to start to rebound towards warmer temperatures. By Wednesday, we're going to be near normal and then getting above normal for Memorial Day weekend in the low 80s through the weekend. Looking like nice weather. Looking at the, is this the GF? Yeah, I'm going to start with the GFS, 500 millibar overhead view of what's going on. So we are in this big trough right now. The center of the low is over in Utah, Colorado this morning. And it's going to continue with northwest flow for the next couple of days, keeping those temperatures cooler. And then it's going to start to ridge behind that. But before we get to that ridging Wednesday afternoon, we have this little small system coming through, not really amounting to much, but might have some increased winds on Wednesday night and a couple more isolated showers before we start getting a little bit of ridging going on leading into Memorial Day weekends. And then by Memorial Day, you can see there's a system trying to work its way down on the GFS. It stays pretty far to our north. But if we look over on the Euro, that wants to come down the coastline a little bit more. So that could give us a little bit more weather if the Euro comes into play more than the GFS. So we're still a little too far out to see what's going to happen Memorial Day. But overall, the temperatures are looking much warmer and should be at least nice in that regard. Looking at precip, how much we've been getting. This is looking at Chocolate Gulch. I thought I'd highlight the valley floor more than the mountains, but we are still in the normal area for precip. If you look though, it's kind of been flatlined for the last month or so. So April we had some pretty good hit of precip, but it's been pretty flatlined and not really much has been going on. Oh, this is a much closer view. Forgot I did that. So we're still in the green band, which is above normal for precip. If we take a step back and look at snow water equivalent, this is showing us our winter reservoir. We are not looking great for that. It's been melting a lot quicker than normal, so we're in the red as far as that goes. But overall precip, we're still kind of hanging on in there just from what we received in April, but it's definitely drying out. We're in abnormally dry for the mountains, and then once you get into the valleys, we're kind of in that moderate drought, so that second stage of drought, and then down the Snake River, down into severe drought. So it's catching up to the mountains as that snow has melted out faster than normal and things are starting to dry up out there.